What's going on, guys? It's Alexa back with another video, and today, as you guys can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I am reviewing a 2013 Tesla P85. This car, as you guys know, is totally electric, which is completely different from my daily driver, the 400 horsepower 2010 Camaro SS. I got some exhaust work done. As you guys know, it's louder than stock, but this car, when I say it's a completely different culture shock for me, it's totally different. I rode in this already before, but I've never driven it. That's what we're gonna do today, and I'm gonna go over the features and the aspects of the car, but I would like to get the owner of this beautiful Tesla in with me. This is Tom. He is one of the owners of RPM, which is Richmond Performance Modifications. If you guys have seen my video where I got my brake calipers painted, this is where I took it to. They did an absolutely fantastic job. And if there are any other car modifications or anything like that, I will probably be coming back here as well. So Tom is the owner of this Tesla, and you guys probably see this Mercedes AMG G-Wagon in the back as well. We'll save that for another day, but we're going to be focusing on the Tesla. As Tom knows, I don't really know much about Tesla. I know this is the direction that cars are going into, more electric, more eco-friendly, no emissions, stuff like that, which is great, but my heart is still with the horsepower and the loud exhaust and all that other stuff. So what's something that you would like to tell me about this Tesla?
Well, you know, my heart is still with, you know, exhaust, American muscle.
America.
Also, too.
Yes.
Right. What drew me to this car was because I was, you know, I admit, just like everybody else, there was a bit of skepticism. I'm from Detroit, Motor City, American muscle. When these cars came out a few years ago, I was like, man, you know, the concept seems interesting, but like I said, like everybody else, there was a bit of skepticism until I drove it. Yeah. When I went on my first test drive, I was instantly sold. Yeah. I knew at that moment that I had to buy one. The reason why I say that is because I would say that, I mean, I've owned a lot of cars, I've driven tons of cars over the years. I would say that this car was totally transformative and totally redefined what it meant to drive. And I think that's why Tesla has the big following that it has, is that it totally redefines the driving experience. And so one would wonder and say, how is that? I mean, you know, a car's a car. Exactly. Kind of all the same. And I would liken it to a smartphone, like an iPhone. I mean, prior to when the iPhone came out, phones were phones. But when the iPhone came out, it totally redefined the experience of the telephone slash handheld computer in a way that had never been done before. The smooth power delivery, that's probably one of the biggest things. Yes, you know? I did notice that when I rode in it, and it's not like your typical horsepower car, because in this aspect, compared to that car, when you accelerate, the car kind of throws you back. This one, I couldn't describe the feeling. There was no throwback in my seat, but the power was instantly there, and it was the strangest feeling ever. Yes, it's almost like a private jet on wheels. Yeah. It's like a jet because there's no transmission, and because it has a fixed gear ratio. Exactly. Yep. There's no shifting, so it's just smooth linear acceleration. Exactly. And on top of that, the car is incredibly fast, and I think that's one of the biggest things that kind of gets you with the electric car by pure nature of an electric motors. All of the maximum torque is available from initial start off, so that's crazy. You get a tremendous amount of thrust, and it's totally silent. Yeah. So it just floats. Like it's literally like you're on a plane on a runway about to take off, but there's no sound. Exactly. It's just like that. So the Tesla is a good model in itself for paving the way for electric cars, but as you guys can tell, he has done a few things to this car that made it his own. Most notably are the wheels, and you purchased these wheels. Yeah, the wheels are made by Asante. They're 3-piece forged wheels. custom floating center caps.
Oh yeah.
So the center caps stay level the whole entire time you ride, just like in a Rolls Royce.
Gotcha.
The windows were tinted.
And as you guys can tell, the door handles for Tesla are nice and flat, but when it's unlocked, they pop out, and see, they go back in when you lock the car. So that's a great safety feature to have.
Yeah, and it's just cool. And that's one of the things where we talked about, where it just kind of, it's just the little things, the small details that you fall in love with. The fact that you just walk up to the car and the door handles come out for you automatically, and then they retract back in, which cuts down on aerodynamic drag when the car is in motion. That's true. So I didn't think of that. As far as it, you know, beyond it just being cool, it does have does have a function. It's functionality. So it's a kind of a large example of engineering, you know, and form following function.
All right, so moving on to the rear of the Tesla, one of the things I noticed, first of all, I love his license plate. He has his logo for RPM right on the back. This carbon fiber wing right here, definitely factory, and it's an extra additional option that you can get on the car when you order it. There's a model number right there, P85. Really interesting tail lights. I like the setup that they have going on here. So it's a very clean looking car. Any exhaust tailpipes? Nope. No tailpipes for you.
So one of the things that's great about this car, you get sports car level performance, but you get the practicality of a luxury, you know, four-door. Yeah, definitely. You know, it's luxury. Incredibly roomy. As you can see, the trunk is full of stuff and gear and horseback riding gear and helmets and all that. So it's incredibly roomy. But if you come around to the front, what most people don't think about and realize that you have incredible space. Oh, nice. Also because there's no engine. Exactly. All right, guys. So now we are inside the Tesla. As I said, this screen is massive. These are all the features you can have. Oh, okay. This is how you open the sunroof. Very nice. Basically, your control panel for everything else. So when I say it almost feels like a spaceship, this right here is what makes it feel like. You can adjust your wheel suspension. So if you want to ride a little bit higher, you have these options right here. Now, of course, in Richmond, sometimes we have crazy potholes, so we need to lift that suspension up. Here's your driving modes. If you ever feel like you're ready to take something on, you can go into sport, or you can go into comfort if you just want to chill and cruise. And I tell you, probably one of the most interesting controls here is where it says creep. A lot of people don't know what that is. Well, in a traditional car that has a transmission, you know that if you're in a parking lot or somewhere where you need to move slowly, you can just apply the brake and let off the brake a little bit, and the car will kind of move forward so you can go into parking spaces or go into reverse. Well, since an electric car doesn't have a transmission, and doesn't have a torque converter, and therefore there's no rotating, you know, mass or object to make the vehicle move, it would only move if you actually hit the accelerator. And so years ago, Tesla, they thought of a lot of things, but they didn't think about that. So people had requested that they be able to kind of let off of the brake, and the car would still kind of move a little bit, so that it makes parking a lot easier, or moving into reverse a lot easier. All those little things that you never really think about. So with an update, Tesla added this feature to the car, so that way when you let off of the brake, the car will move a little bit forward, just in the same manner that a regular car that has a transmission does. So that's one of the neat things about these cars, is that just like software for a smartphone, they're constantly sending updates out as people request features, as they find problems with the car. If there's a bug or a feature that they want to add, you just get an over-the-air update, and you wake up one morning and the car has more features than it had the day before. So that's what's really awesome. That is crazy that your car can just get an update overnight. Yeah, exactly. It's the only car that really can get better over time. Guys,
I really feel like I just went to school. When I tell you, like, I just overloaded with information about just this car in general, like, there's so many things that I did not know that this car was capable of. And what's funny is, when I rode in this car the first time, you had already kind of explained some of the features. And that was a nice little 15-minute ride. And even still, there is still stuff that I'm learning each and every day about this car's capabilities. So if you guys are ever considering getting one, just understand that it is very different and there's a lot to learn. But once you get the hang of it, I think you're really gonna love it. So we're gonna see how it drives, and it's a new feature that I'm learning about every 3 minutes. So I'm really enjoying this. All right, guys, so we're here at the Tesla charging station. Sorry about this audio quality. My camera has been having audio issues this whole test review. I don't even want to go into it, but it's very frustrating. So I'm going to show you guys kind of what it looks like to come to a Tesla charging station in that area. They were able to have a little pop-out door panel that comes on the side marker tail light of the Tesla. It lights up blue already, and once you unplug the Tesla charging port, showed you the prongs there, you plug it in, and after that it begins to change a different color, determining whether you have it plugged in properly. If you don't have it plugged in properly, it actually turned kind of an amber orange color for me. Once we plugged it in properly, it turned a flashing blue, and then once the current is actually flowing through the charging station into your car, it turns green. And Tesla will actually send you a text message when your car is done charging, so that way you can know your car is finished, you can come pick it up, because they do have supercharging idling fees if you leave your car at a charging station for too long after it's finished charging, because of course they want to make sure there's enough charging stations for any other vehicles that need to come up and charge. But it's really cool because you can charge your car, walk away, go do something else. Like, we literally charged his car and we went to go have lunch. Like, it's just, it's such a simple thing to have. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to where we first started our video, and I'm gonna go ahead and go on this test drive really quickly, so that way we can get a feel for how this baby really performs. I'm gonna turn the car on simply by pressing the brake. There we go. And just like that, his seat is adjusting to his already saved settings, and now the car's on. Here on my dashboard, I have my speedometer to the left. I also have kilowatts to the right, telling me how much power I'm using. So once I start driving, I'll be sure to show you guys. But there is a cool feature that it has called regenerative braking, and it actually saves you power once you let off the gas, and the car will automatically brake for you without you using your brake pads. And I just thought that was the neatest thing ever. I've ridden in this before, and it's a different type of fast compared to what I'm used to, of course, with driving a Camaro all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead. Here's the gear shifter that he said Mercedes also helped with some of the engineering and design for the Tesla, because this is a gear shifter that you find in some Mercedes products as well. So I just thought that was really neat. So all I have to do is put my foot on the brake and just flick down to neutral and flick down one more time to drive. Or flick down twice to drive. All right, so now I'm in drive, and just no sound at all. Absolutely no sound. This charging station is really cool. I've never seen one actually. And you know, if I come to this area, I would have passed by it like it's nothing. It is incredibly smooth. The throttle response is very instant. I haven't even pushed it yet. And I keep forgetting, as soon as I let my foot off the gas pedal, that regenerative braking is there, and it stops the car for you. And it also turns on your brake lights even though you're not having your foot on the brake. All right, so here we go. Oh my God. When I tell you guys, it's literally like taking off in a plane, I am not joking. Okay, so I used regular brakes to slow down, and when I took my foot off that, I felt the regenerative brakes come into play as well. So it helps slow me down two different areas. As you can see on here on my speedometer, My brake lights are hidden up on my little avatar. If I let go, they stop and then they light up again. So you can know what lights are on the outside of your car, which I thought was really neat. And when the regenerative brakes come into play, your brake lights do come on. So people do know that you are in fact slowing down, even though your foot's not on the brake. All right, here I go again. Oh, it's so fast, it's so fast, it's so fast. Okay, I have to calm down.
Yeah, you can definitely put your license in jeopardy with these cars.
Gosh.
It's so quick. It's so easy. It's effortless.
If you want to show the speedometer one more time, it shows how much power I'm using. So when I put my foot down, this is how much power I'm using. When I take it off, it goes into the green area, and it's helps saving the battery. What did you call that method again?
Oh yeah, well the regenerative braking is adding electricity back into the battery, which would have otherwise been wasted kinetic energy.
With the technology in this car alone has already impressed me, but you add performance on top of technology, and it's so surprising. And it's the smoothest ride ever. Like I said, it's no problem daily driving it, and it's not a sports car. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can tell. Like, I'm so happy driving this, like, because it's so easy to get around what you need to do. When we came to the charging station, I needed to get off on an exit, but there was a truck and a tractor trailer in the lane that I needed to get in, and my exit was coming right up. When I started to take my exit, I accelerated, got in front of both vehicles with no problem, and I had enough stopping distance to brake and make my exit safely. So the power is just insane. It really is, and I know I can just put it down and it'll go. But it's not your typical muscle car fast, and I don't know how to describe it other than saying it's like being in a plane taking off. It's the craziest feeling ever. So make sure, if you guys can, test drive one of these. You know, it's an experience. It's a whole experience. But I thank Tom once again for letting me drive this car. It's very impressive. It's beautiful on the outside, and it's fun to drive. And the features that this comes with I don't even know how long that list is of everything that he's told me today. So
there's still plenty more too.
Exactly. I know there's plenty of stuff he didn't mention, but of course I'm not trying to have this video be 45 minutes long.
And I'll tell you, one of the most exciting features that Tesla just put out that they were going to do a couple days ago is that the classic Atari games are going to come to right here on a touchscreen in car. So Tesla.
How am I supposed to drive?
Yeah, you definitely don't drive and play, but Tesla put out that I guess they reached a deal with Atari and they licensed some of their original video games, and we're going to be able to play Atari games right here on the touchscreen in the car. So
this car has impressed me by far, like far exceeded any expectations that I may have had about this Tesla.
Oh yeah, we got a straight stretch. Go on and hit it. Hit it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's that horsepower. That's the modern age muscle car. It's electric. It's that electric muscle.
Guys, I know you can't hear it, but we were moving. Like, we were for real moving, and that is no joke. That is insane. Test drive one of these. I'm serious. Like, do it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you already know to hit it with a like. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos. I post twice a week, so there's always something fun you can watch on my channel. Yeah. I'll be sure to leave his store's information in the video, because as always, he does a lot of stuff.
Take off. Accelerate. Yeah. That power. There we go.
My first slid back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just put you back
0 to 60. Yeah. I wish I had timed that. Oh my gosh, that was, I wish I had timed that. Oh, wow.
Everybody else is still sitting at the light.
Yeah, they are. We're back at his shop, RPM. Hit them up if you want any customization done. They do a great job, and they do all kinds of stuff between exterior modifications, speakers, rims. They painted my brake calipers, as you know, and did a fantastic job. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all take care.